Rose and I have made a practice. Whenever we go to a country, we try to dress like the people there do. And I'm surprised that all of you haven't followed our example today. How many of you spent at least 7 hours on the site today? Raise your hand. All right. How many of you are glad to be here in the cool weather? Well, it's a real pleasure to be. I'm glad. I've been thinking that the ambassador gave me his support in 1976 because of my programs. I didn't realize it was because my bumper sticker was longer than the present course. But it's always good to find out the facts even after they occur. He's a good worker though. He stayed there longer than 7 hours today. Well, I think one of the things that he said is important about human rights. Not my program on human rights, but the real definition of human rights, which most Americans don't really know. If you stopped 50 people on the street in New York or Washington or Seattle or Los Angeles and asked them to name the human rights guaranteed to us, they would say freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of worship, trial by jury. If you ask somebody in Ghana or Liberia to name the basic human rights, they would say a place to live, and food to eat, and a job, and self-respect, and human dignity, and hope that the future will get better for me and my children. So I think what Habitat does for me and Rosen is it gives the whole panoply of human rights meaning. Because it was really not until after I left the White House and became affiliated with Habitat and began to go on these 26 annual work projects, some hotter than this, that I got the true meaning of human rights. And tonight I want to express my thanks to the donors who make it possible each year for us to bring basic human rights to families that may not ever have known what it means. And to have a decent home in which to live means that a family quite often for the first time has pride in where they are. And just seeing in a week's time or a few days' time a home emerge from a concrete foundation, and then after the volunteers go home, the family occupy that house of their own. That's really what human rights means. And so thank you all for being so generous to us. Rose and I are very proud to be here tonight. A lot of people ask me what it means to be, you know, out of office and so forth. And I recall a cartoon in the New Yorker magazine last year that made a great impression on me. This little boy is looking up at his father, and he says, "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be a former president." Well, you can see why I'm blessed, being a former president associated with Habitat volunteers, with the homeowners, and I would say especially tonight with the donors who make it all possible. From the bottom of our heart, thank you very much.
Donors too, because there's no way Habitat could do what Habitat does without the donors who give so unselfishly. And I also want to thank you for coming from all over the world to be here to help with this project. It can be life-changing for you. I know because this is my 26th year, and every year something happens. It's so special. But on a lighter note, I want to know if the designer who made our clothes is here. Somebody from Habitat called and said, the designer wants to make you some clothes, and we sent our sizes, and mine just fit perfectly.